You are more powerful than you think you are, so act accordingly. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Champion Reads. This is the podcast where we get together and we talk about some of our favorite books, some of the world's best sellers, and we don't just review the books. We just talk about them. We just share our opinions. We dive in. We mastermind conversations about the books, but more importantly, we like to give and share takeaways that might help you, especially if you're like us and you're in the business world or entrepreneurs or looking to just improve 1% per day. You know, it's important for us to always be growing. And this podcast was designed and built to just bring an idea of awesomeness and awareness to you, the listeners, and we appreciate you for being here. Also joining us on this podcast, you know my name. My name is Jon Kovach Jr. I'm one of the executive producers and co-hosts, but joining me today are the true heroes of this podcast, Mr. Coach Willie Blake, as well as our other executive and co-host producer, Ian Stermer. And as we jump in, I kind of took control over this because this is our last episode in 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. We're really excited about this year and all of the episodes that we've recorded. And today we just want to kind of like dive in, do a recap, but we do have some books that we also want to share with you. In the meantime, we're also sharing with you some holiday festive love. If you check out our video screen, the background is in holiday cheer. I have a dachshund and it rules my life. And so I have a dachshund holiday sweater. So that was gifted to me by my beautiful spouse. And yeah, we're here to just have some fun, to share some holiday cheer and hope you enjoy it. But you guys, this year's been crazy. Like we've had a lot of great books, and Willie introduced the Rotten Tomatoes voting system to our platform where we record episodes and we share our opinions and we give them a rating, and we have an ongoing list and rating, and I can even bring it up and we can look at our top 5 or top 10. But some of my favorite memories from this year have been really those episodes where we dive into the books and we share our opinions, but we also give them a rating because we're literally fishing through the cream of the crop. Like we have the best books of all the best books, and it's fun. And we've barely touched the surface. I mean, we've got another year on the books. Oh, get it? Another year on the books. Not intended, but that was a pun. Yeah, got him. Yeah, where's my gong?
But
yeah, there it is. I missed the drum. Long story short is, we've got a lot coming on, and we were just discussing in the green room more improvements to the podcast and the show so that you can enjoy it and that you can receive it anywhere. But I want to turn it over to my co-host here and let's just have like a 4 or 5 minute conversation. What's this year been like for you? What have you enjoyed? What have you disliked? What were some of your favorite books, memories, all the sorts? Just tell me a little bit about this year in review on the Champion Reads podcast.
I think one of my favorites is just this Rotten Tomato rating thing that we've done, because we all know Rotten Tomatoes. I actually don't know if it's international, at least in the US. Rotten Tomatoes is like the thing to go to when rating movies. We wanted to bring that same energy and that same ratings in our own way to Champion Reads to make it more interesting. So it's not just us talking about principles to help you in your lives, but we have the episodes of, well, actually, based on all the other books we've gotten, this is rating a 4, or this is rated a 7, or in some instances, this is rated a 10. I only have one of those, and that's one of my favorite books, which is Outwitting the Devil, which I believe we did this year. And so it's just been really cool. It's been really cool to add that aspect to rating books, even though like all the books we do are in like the top of the top on the scale. And I'd highly recommend for anybody, but just good old conversation, sharing with people principles and books and ratings, and just been a good year.
Like that. So on my TV, I use Amazon Fire Stick, and it has a screensaver that shows like pictures I've uploaded to my Amazon Photos account. And I love that because when I hit pause and I do something and I look back at my TV, I see memories of things that I have taken pictures of in the past. And I think, oh, wow. And it brings it back. And to me, I love that Rotten Tomatoes thing because we read so many books here that honestly, I forget them and they go into the past. And when we bring up this Rotten Tomatoes, it's like, oh, yeah, now I remember that one. Oh, did I do that thing that I was going to, that principle I took? Did I apply that? I need to go back and do that again. Or, oh, now that I've lived a few more months, that wasn't as good a book as I thought it was. So I love that chance to review it. And yes, I should review our podcast more than I do. And that will be I don't want to do New Year's resolutions. I want to do a December 12th resolution. Today's the 12th, right? So we should do a daily resolution for things. But I love that chance to go back and look at them again and remember what I've done, because we move on to so many new idea, that it's great to take some time to look back as well at the great ideas that have been there and rekindle that. It's not always about an innovation. It's sometimes about re-ovation. I just made up that word.
I like that. And re-ovation, in other words, in English, motivation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love what you guys brought up, and just in the past year and in the past years of doing this podcast, I mean, we've made milestones. We've hit our 100th episode. We've done some really cool stuff, and just had a great time. And I'm grateful for it, because every time I listen back to the podcast, I mean, we encourage our network in the Champion Circle network to listen to these, to find inspiration, to listen to positive audios that help them every single day. And we have a slogan that's printed on all of our walls. It's actually tattooed under my eyelid, and it says, if you're not watching our YouTube channel at least 3 times a day, what the heck are you doing with your life? Yeah. Total life advice, right?
Yeah, you can't see it, but invisible ink right here says that same thing.
Yeah, and
on the inside of my glasses.
We're having fun today. Real quick, I just wanted to share like top 5 books right now in ratings. We have at number 5, Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. Number 4 is The Go-Giver by Bob Berg. Number 3 is 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan. Number 2 is Leadership and Self-Deception by the Arbinger Group. And number 1, Willie already brought it up, is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Just a fantastic set of books. And that's not even covering the surface of the 29 other books that we've read. And by the way, we need to collect some ratings from Willie at some point on a couple other books, but we'll do that later, because right now we decided today we wanted to celebrate you, the readers, by sharing some of our own personal favorite books and just talking about them. And so my question is who would like to go first? We each selected our own book that we've read, and we want to talk about it, introduce it to you. Maybe this is on your gift buying list. Maybe it's a book you want to try reading, after the holidays. Maybe it's a book you want to start the new year with. So these are all just great ideas for you to just jump in and learn. Maybe you've heard about these books, maybe you have not. And that's the reason why we do this, is it helps us to really expand our knowledge, to increase our awareness, and also, learn a new thing or two. And remember, every time we do these are our opinions. These are not expert. We're professionals, but we're absolutely not like expert reviewers in any of these books. So please take with a grain of salt everything we share. Don't don't believe it because we said it, but believe it because you want to search it out for yourself. So importantly enough, we just want you to have your own free agency and will and choice. So, but take a look at these. Would anyone like to go first? I'm happy to, but if anyone is like just itching to go, I'd love to introduce a book to you guys.
So this isn't the books we've been through. This is the book that we secretly, but not secretly, grabbed before we jumped on.
That is correct.
Cool. So I'm going to go first.
Oh, okay. Willie, you're first. All right. It's up to you.
I'm going to go first. So the book that I grabbed is one, because we all know that we are 100% a Christian podcast, right? 100% we're. But the book I chose is this book called Unf Yourself by Gary John Bishop. Get out of your head and into your life. I'm not huge into books that uses curse words. Fine for everybody else. I don't curse personally myself, but this was so highly recommended from people that were around me that I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump into it. And man, were they right. Was it such a great book? Because in this book, actually, first and foremost, have either of you two read this?
I have not. I'm like the same as you, Willie. I tend to stay away from Barnes and Noble clickbait, which are the what I call like the ones that have words like that on the shelves. I tend to stay away from them unless I did read Mark Manson's the art of not giving an F, but no, I have not read this one.
I judged a book by its cover and didn't read it yet.
Well, let me tell you of its contents as we go past the judging of the cover. So this is like it's in the strangest way, it is reverse motivation, because it will go deeper than, if you've ever read Outwitting the Devil, it goes deep and it changes your psyche. I would put this book right up there in the changing of your mindset and psyche, because it goes into several areas of your willingness, being wired to win, embracing uncertainty, talking about I am not my thoughts, I am what I do, I am relentless, expect nothing and accept everything. Those are just some of the titles on the table of contents. But inside the book, for me personally, when I was reading this, I didn't feel like I was not doing anything. I felt like I was out there creating my business, helping other people out. But then when I started reading this, and the first thing that stuck out to me was I have been making excuses that I have forcefully put myself as ignorant to. So I was telling myself that this wasn't an excuse. But by telling myself that it wasn't an excuse, my mind was still using it as an excuse, because our minds don't understand the word don't. It's whatever we tell them, regardless if we put the word don't before it. If you've ever heard the thing of don't think of a yellow duck. First thing you think of, for most people, unless you are trained as a master, is you think of a yellow duck. The word don't matter because your brain doesn't. It's the same thing when it comes to like, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to lose all my money. I don't like, you're still thinking about being heavy and losing your money. So instead we switch the words to the I ams. The I am relentless. I am of certainty. I am healthy. I do have money in the bank account. So that's one of the things that he talks about there, is switching it from the don'ts to the I ams. And it really just helped me out to realize that the excuses I didn't think I had, I actually still did. So right up there, honestly, Rotten Tomatoes, 9.3. We'll do a 9.3.
Wow. That's tall.
From me. That's from me.
From Willie, yes, that's saying something.
Willie's been known to give some of the harshest of the scores, and that's impressive. So we may have to add that to our list for 2026 to read together and share. But before you give your rating, I kind of wanted to have like the rest of the group kind of open it up as a discussion / just kind of like maybe even ask some questions. And Willie, my question to you is: so I was recently in. I was recently in LA, and I had little children with me, and so you guys can hear some background noise. And we were walking down the streets with my nieces and nephews, and there's a bunch of stickers on every sign that are a little inappropriate. They have explicit superlative words on them, and a lot of them are pretty negative towards the president of our United States of America. And anyways, there's just a lot of stuff that you can read freely and open on the streets of Los Angeles. And my little sweet niece is in that stage where she's reading everything and sounding everything out. And so she goes up to a sticker, reads it, puts her hand on her chin, scratches it, and then she runs over to us and she asks us, "What does bleep, 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 Trump mean?" And we're like, "Oh, that's a great question." And so the timing of learning and teaching and sharing was definitely upon us. So my question to Willie is, Willie, when you have a book like that where we're totally judging the cover, but the contents totally transformed your mind, being a father and having children around, how does one go about having a book with such an explicit cover with little ones that read in the home? How does that go about, and what do you do to what does a good father do in this situation?
Well, I don't know what a good father would do. But for what I do, my oldest is 5, so she's starting to read, but still she doesn't know how to read. So I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this. But I don't take it everywhere with me. I just keep it on my bookshelf. So amongst all the other words that are written on this thing over here, it's not one that my kid just looks at it and is like, "What does this mean?"
Yeah. Okay.
But like, here's the thing. Words are powerful, and we know that. There's reasons for using curse words. There's reasons for using words that go in the realm of negativity and pessimism. There's word like the power to the word comes from the interpretation of it. So when my kids go up and say, "What does this mean?" For this book, I'm not gonna like go into the whole history of what the F word means, because we'll go in a bunch of different lanes and conversations that I don't want to have with my kids right now. But I'm gonna go into what the book is and what it's about, because I went in and read it. And even if I didn't read it and we're like at Barnes and Noble going to a bookshelf and they picked up the book, they're like, "What is this?" Then I'll look at it, and the subheading is "Get out of your head and into your life." I'll tell them things about that because I have a lot of experience with that. So it's the one is that there are power when it comes to words, but the power is up to the interpretation of the individual. And then 2, when it comes to like those moments of conversation, you just you say what's there. Where their curiosity is. If they're wanting to know about the birds and the bees, be straight to them, but just give them this is what they need. But if it's just like, "What is this book?" then talk about the book. You don't have to go into what stands out to you.
You're a gentleman and a scholar and a great father. I love it. Ian, anything you'd like to share, add, or ask regarding this book before we kind of shift gears?
Well, I love the comment about the word "don't," and I am going to replace the word "don't" with the more spread out word "donut." And I think that will bring more happiness to my life. But
that's a reference to our last episode. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that. I mean, I've avoided the book because, the 2 things. One, I try to avoid ones with words like that, and I'll turn off TV shows if that's all they have in the first couple of minutes. And the other is what Jon said. I feel like some of those are like clickbait. They're just trying to grab your attention. So in my mind, I judge them too quickly and say, "Oh, there's probably no real content because they've done this flashy thing on the cover. So, why bother?" So I'm, I should open my mind more, and I look forward to reading that. And I'll say, having older kids, if I put it on my bookshelf, they immediately have no interest in reading it. So.
I think you bring up a good point, Ian, too. Like, my reaction, Willie, you did a great job. I now want to read the book. I had a low interest in picking up one of those books, but now I have an extremely high interest in grabbing it. So if you're listening or watching this at home, like, and you make your way over to the bookstores or Barnes and Noble during the holidays, think twice. Like, open up a book, take a look, because there's some good stuff, and I appreciate it. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with Mark Manson's book on the art of not giving an F. And I even did a note on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. I even did an entire episode. I think I did like 2 or 3 episodes on Mark Manson's book. So this is fantastic. Willie, thanks for sharing it. Any last words about the book and any recommendations?
If you see it, go do it. Go out and find the book. But here's the thing too, because I was thinking about the rating. I gave it a 9.3, but then in the entirety of it, I don't think I'd on the spectrum of just like books in general, I think I'll do a 7.5. But if you're wanting a change in like your mental state, that's when I'd go to a 9.3. So if it's like practical application, this might not be that book, and I put it at a 7.5. But if you want to talk about like psyche and mental and the mentality of it, then it's up at a 9.3. Great book, recommend it. And then the comment to go along with John is that really any books that you're curious about, even the ones that bait click you with certain words, like grab it, see what the subheading is, open it to the summary, and just take a gander. See what it's about, more than just the title. And if it's something that resonates with you, well, try it out.
One of the things I love about this podcast is we do read a lot of books. We talk more about them than we read them. And one of the things that I love is the vocabulary that we gain, and just how much more we grow. And then there's people like John who have the same vocabulary as he did when he was 12 years old. And I get away with it for some reason because you guys let me. And I appreciate the word that I added to the list of things I want to try to learn better today. And I'm going to use the word gander. Willie, thank you for that word. That's that was a long intro to that. All right, guys, I want to share my book. Willie, Ian, your book better be good because I'm making you go last.
Scary. Well, you'll be happy to take a gander at it.
Okay, good. I'm going to find a way to use the word that I just learned. I'm grateful for this book. I have not read all of its pages because it is astoundingly huge, almost 800 pages of content. And one of the things I love about this book is it's incredibly resourceful. And something that I love to do, and why we even built Champion Circle in the first place, was I wanted to give people a roundtable discussion of resources, a rapid fire community of ideas, and a place where you can go to get anything. A Rolodex is an old school term for having everything and anything you need to be able to connect with somebody quickly. If you need like a plumber, or if you need an electrician, you have that. If you need somebody who knows about taxes, you're able to call them up. If you have somebody who's just like really, really good at golf, like, hey, I need a partner for this upcoming golf tournament. Like, that's what a Rolodex is all about. It's building relationships and people you can rely on and trust. And these are relationships. So a book about relationships is we need to put on our list Tim Ferriss, because I think we have talked about the 4-hour work week, but I don't think we've talked about it in too much depth. And Tim Ferriss wrote a book that was kind of a subsequent follow-up to 4-hour work week, not the 4-hour body and some of the other 4 hours, but he realized that in these books, he was sharing a bunch of resources he used, but he realized those are just the resources he uses to accomplish the life that he wants to create. But Tim Ferriss wrote a book, and he included the tactics, routines, and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. He decided, let's go to some of the most successful people out there and let's ask them what their resources are. And this book is called Tools of Titans. Da, 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 da. And this book is so thick. It's one of the thickest books on my shelf, but I love it. And the Tools of Titans, so again, you can't read every single page. But I love it because let me just read a few names of people who have contributed to this book. Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, Tony Robbins. I'm just going to read through real quick. Seth Godin, Peter Thiel. You've got some of the greats, and they're talking about ways to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And let me pull something from the wealthy perspective. I'm going to go to my good, dear, imaginary friend, Seth Godin, because he doesn't know I exist yet. But Seth Godin, great author, and he contributed to the wealth side. And that was actually one of the quotes I shared today is, you are more powerful than you think you are. So act accordingly. And Seth Godin is famous for so many books like Tribes, Linchpin, The Dip, Purple Cow, What to Do When It's Your Turn. This Is Marketing. Okay. So many incredible books to read. He's a genius of our time. And I just love everyone's perspective because to each their own. We're all different and we all have our methods, but something that truly stood out to me is this quote here is trust and attention. These are the scarce items in a post-scarcity world. And Seth has a great way of just portraying ideals that we didn't even think were existing until he thought about them and then put them in a case. Let me skip over to page 773. I think is what it is. Oh no, it's not that page. 673. But our good friend Malcolm Gladwell, okay, who's written a number of books, and I love all of Malcolm's books. He starts his chapter by saying, my favorite breakfast is a half of a croissant and black tea. And it's okay, let's take the world's most richest, most successful authors, billionaires, people who've done it. They're talking about what makes them happy, what gives them guidance, what gives them success. And it's all a bunch of hubbub. But unless you resonate with it, and unless you resonate with something that gives you inspiration to take you in the direction, these are the tools of Titans. How do you use them? And I love that question because you can be given Thor's hammer, but you may not have the ability and the worthiness to wield the hammer, right? But when given the tools of success, what do you do with them? How do you do with them? And how best to handle them and process them? That's what Tools of Titans is all about. So I hope I did a good job of selling the book. Any comments, questions, concerns from my co-host here about this book, and then I'll give it a rating at the last part.
Maybe a few concerns about you after hearing. No, love that, and it brings up a great point that I think about a lot. We have these incredible tools around us. I heard one time, we carry in our pockets this device that contains the sum total of knowledge of the universe in our pockets. And we use it to watch silly cat videos and insult people we don't know. These tools are out there. Are we using them? If you have Thor's hammer, but you don't make lightning with it, what good is it? It's a doorstop. The tools need to be used. If they're not being used, if they're not being applied, then they're useless. It doesn't matter how good something is. If it's not used, then there's no purpose in it. So apply these things, use them. How do we use them? How do the people who came up with them use them to better their lives? And let's better our lives that way.
Thanks for saying that. Willie, any thoughts?
Boom.
I
just agree with Ian. It's jumping back to Thor's hammer. If you have Thor's hammer but use it as a regular hammer on a construction job, what the heck are you doing? It doesn't matter the tools that we have if we don't know how to use them. Because we can have the best of best tools, but if we have no idea what to use it for, we'll use it for the minimum effort.
Yeah.
Let me put a little twist on that. Are we not our greatest assets? If we, the tools, sometimes I feel like a tool, but as we, the tools,
I've been accused of that.
John's such a tool. If we are our greatest assets And our mind and our body, our gut, our health is the tool that we have, that everybody has, between the billionaires to the homeless people on the street. The only difference is the ability in which they have lived life, to the experience, to the talents, to the skills, to the mindsets, to everything that goes on. If you want to use the tool in the best way, shouldn't we realize that we are the best tool? And that if we are Thor's hammer, we need to realize that we are not meant to just for hammering nails, but for something even greater than that. And that's what I'll leave it on.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. And I couldn't agree more. And also, if you want to find out what great tools the titans of this world, the billionaires and some of the most successful icons are using, go check this book out. I give this book, and don't take my rating system as a reason to not pick up the book, but I give this book a solid 7.8 because it is a quick read. You can literally, read 12 or 15 chapters in one sitting. It's really, really great. And it is kind of all over the place. Like, there is no structure. And I'm very structured. I like to know where I'm going and what the end result is. But this book has a lot of entrepreneurial chaos, but it is built into 3 components: the healthy, the wealthy, and the wise. And I love it. It's a high rating for me on this, but it's also like, it doesn't make my top 10, but I highly recommend you grab this book, and it is the biggest one on the shelf. So definitely go grab it. So I love it. Let's shift over to Ian. Ian, what book did you choose, and what do you want to talk about?
Okay, speaking of tools, I have the Ninja Foodie Deluxe instruction manual and cookbook. Sorry. It's changed my life. Actually, no, sorry. The book I chose for this one, I brought this up and referenced it many times throughout our book club and discussions. And this is kind of an old book now, written in 1980, and probably a lot of details have changed. And this is written before the age of the internet, but it is a book about the information age. It is called The Third Wave by Alvin Toffler, as I try and get my screen to work for those of you who are watching. And there's the overall idea of this is that we are in the third wave of technology. The first wave was going into agriculture from hunter-gatherer. The second wave was the Industrial Revolution. The third wave is the information age. And with these waves of technology, everything in the world changes, and civilizations rise and fall, wealthy people rise and fall, all of these things happen. Conceptually, this book is, to me, one of the most important books I've read. And there's 2 quotes I want to share from this book to kind of mention that. One is, the Stone Age didn't end because we ran out of stones. It ended because we found something better. And the other one is, my phone went dark, so I'm going to paraphrase this. The second one is, the illiterate people of the 21st century are not the ones who cannot read and write. They're the ones who don't know how to learn, unlearn, and relearn to move forward. And the idea of this, whether it's on the macro scale or the micro scale, we need to be able to adapt and adjust to things happening. Now, being the old guy in the group, I'm still on the internet, and we're on AI now, but I'm saying, okay, I need to learn this and adapt to it. And a popular phrase now is, AI will not replace you. The person who knows how to use AI will replace you. And there's truth in that. If we don't keep up with the tools, if we don't continue to learn and grow and adapt and predict the future, we will be left behind. There's not much market for a typewriter manufacturer in today's world. But there's a huge market for developing faster, more convenient communication methods to move from one person to another. So it's all about adapting and growing in our own life, as well as in our businesses and entrepreneurial, and in governments and civilizations. It's the same concept. If you're not learning and growing and moving forward, you are doomed to be left behind. So, my rating for that, I mean, I have to say this conceptually about the principles in this book, it is a 10. It's been a long time since, sadly, I reread the book, but I'm going to say the book as a whole, because there's probably some errors and things that didn't pan out and some things that say, oh, he was wrong in that one. It's probably going to be an 8. I think it's an incredibly important book. It's not necessarily the most easy to read. I mean, the bibliography in the back of this book is 30 pages long. So this is more of a scholarly book, a little dry at places, but the principles are just incredibly important. So I'll turn it over to you guys now.
Yeah, kind of like, Willie and I, our favorite book is Outwitting the Devil. And concept-wise, like the takeaways, a 10 out of 10. If there was a higher scale, it'd be higher. But yeah, like for the reader, it is a little hard to follow at times because of the experience. But I love that. I absolutely love that. And so add that to the list for sure of things to dive into. And we like hard books. Like we just read a book that was so structurally hard for me to conceive because I'm not used to the fiction side of materializing thoughts, and I like the nonfiction side. And so, Ian, that book really stretched me. So great job. That's awesome. And I love those quotes. So I'm if clickbait isn't just a superlative word on the cover of a book, clickbait for me is really good quotes that draw your mind to unanswered conclusions and ideas. And that's something that really hits the spot for me. So that's my comment on that. Willie, anything you'd like to ask, share, or add to what Ian said?
You got me. Man, you got me.
Not a minute stupor of thought. Let's go.
You got me on. You guys are getting me on some stuff. Like strangely enough, it got me going on the story of two people imagine going back to grade school. You get your test. One person gets 98%, the other person gets 100. And the 98% said, I'm as smart as I'm right below you. I only got 2% lower. I'm as smart as you. And the other dude looks over and he's like, no, 98 is all that you could get. 100 is all that I could receive. It's just like, people set these limitations. People set their own score things, but that doesn't mean that is who we are. And it's I can go different routes with that. Just basically, I'm actually excited to read this book, to go into it. Yeah, I'll leave it with that.
Really bombs with incredible thoughts and responses to these books. I love it. I'll let Ian finish up with his, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. But I love this. Thanks for throwing us a curveball, Ian. This is fantastic.
Yeah, again, this is very different from what we normally read, but I think this is something that's, again, the concepts, the ideas are just ones that are have changed my life, and I continue to apply them 30 some years after I first read this book. And there's very few books that come back to my mind in application way, the way that this book has done for that long of a period. So I think it's one that will stick with most people when they read it. And as they learn how it fits into literally into daily activities in so many ways.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing those, guys. Great job. You never cease to impress and amaze with the books and choices, and we add them to our list. So we have not announced our 2026 list of reads yet, but we do want to let you know that if you connect with us, connect with our team at Champion Circle, you can reach them at team@mychampionscircle.com. Send us an email. We are looking for people to be on our podcast to join us. We're mostly going to be including our members and a few other special guests, but we would love to have conversations with you about the books that we're reading. So please send us an email, join us. We'd love to have you. It being the holidays, guys, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. I was going to say Happy Hanukkah, but I want to say all of them at once. So Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa to everybody and anybody out there. And you know what? If you don't celebrate any of those, happy life. Happy 2025. I hope your 2026 is amazing. From us here at Champion Circle, we love you. We appreciate you. Please get in contact with us. If you haven't already checked us out, go to mychampioncircle.com, where you can learn about our upcoming events and the coaching that we do to help people achieve their goals. These books are just an inspiration to help us achieve great things. We believe that if you read a great, positive, quality book every single day, whether it's 5 pages, 1 page, 10 pages, doesn't matter, that you truly are transforming your life. And that's how you get to learn at the highest level. I'm grateful for my co-host here, Coach Willie Blake, for joining us, for Ian Stermer for helping us, and for making this year of podcasting just so fun. More to come in the year 2026, so please stay tuned. And if you have any recommendations on books that we should read because you want to learn more, you want to dive deeper into it, let us know. Hit us up, and we're looking forward to it. So you can find us anywhere on social media by going to My Champion Circle. And yeah, guys, it's been great. Wave goodbye as we say goodbye to the new year, and we're so pumped up to have you guys. So check us out. We love y'all. We'll take care, and be good, be kind, be safe, and make sure that you always lift other people up. This is another episode of Champion Reads.